my name is Heather and this is my week-by-week pregnancy journal. If you're watching this video because you're expecting, trying to conceive, or just watching for fun, make sure to click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Also, I'd love for you to share your experience this week in the comment section below, and definitely any product suggestions or pregnancy tips. Check out the description area for a breakdown of this video if you want to skip around to a certain topic, or just check out how my bump is progressing. This video we're talking about week 12. Today is actually day 1 of week 13, so I'll let you know everything that happened this past week. This week the baby's actually 2 to 2.5 inches, about the size of a small plum, and weighing in at about 0.5 ounces, or relatable to the size of a Reese's peanut butter cup, which is my husband's favorite. Size and development. In the past 3 weeks, the baby has more than doubled in size. Most of the systems are fully formed, but there's still plenty of maturing to do. So how am I feeling physically? I feel great, definitely still tired at times, and by the end of the day, I am out like a light. So weight gain this week. Total, I've lost 6 pounds from the beginning, food aversions and just not eating, and by the end, right now, I've actually gained 4 of those lost 6 pounds back. So I'm not back to my average weight that I've been weighing in at for the last 6 years. So I don't know if I should really classify it as I gained weight during this first trimester, or I've just slowly worked my way back to my normal weight. So, I mean, you tell me. Symptoms this week. I think I've come to realize that sleep is definitely not what it used to be, and I really don't think it will be for a while. Just the restlessness, getting up in the middle of the night to pee, my achy back in the morning. Sometimes I have no idea why. I sleep with my body pillow. I still am in the hunt for a nice maternity pillow, like maybe one of the U-shaped ones. So definitely leave your suggestions if you have a great one that you love. It's just a combination of waking up in the middle of the night to pee, having a stuffy nose when I wake up, achy back. All of those things are just, you know, sleep is not what it was. And these crazy dreams that I keep having. It's, I guess, a combination of all of that that just leaves me restless. Another symptom, well, like a feeling that I've had is like when I'm laying in bed, I feel this really crazy feeling in my lower abdominal area. It's kind of like, in my mind, I want to think it's the baby kind of wiggling around or floating around in the fluid that it's in right now, but then after I lay there for a while, I realize it's just gas, and I'm like, yeah, that's funny, but I don't know. I can't wait to actually feel the baby moving, because that feeling, and pregnant people, you'll know what I'm talking about because you are more gassy than normal when you're pregnant. But the thought of actually feeling something one day is very exciting. Still having that crazy indigestion after my big meals, especially dinner time, just for some reason, and I don't even know if I've really tried to eat smaller meals, but I find that, you know, dinner, by the time I get home from work, I'm ready to just eat a full big meal, and that's when the indigestion is the worst. Another symptom that I've been reading in one of the books, which is the What to Expect When You're Expecting, and I'll leave a link below. It does say that around this week you will experience an increase in your vaginal discharge, which I have noticed, especially this week, and the feeling actually does scare me because it gives you that feeling when you get your period unexpectedly. And I know that first trimester is coming to an end, but things like that, it does make me feel like, but then you check and it's not your period and you're like, yes, okay, everything's good. But just heads up about that. Cravings this week, I definitely have moved on to the vinegar-based foods. Right now my thing is banana peppers. I found myself eating them straight out of the jar the other day. Also my occasional, you know, bad for you potato chips. Definitely finding that I'm drawn to salt and vinegar or barbecue. Other cravings, I've been craving salsa, specifically salsa from the restaurant on the border. I just love their salsa. I could just eat a whole bowl of chips with their salsa, probably 3 bowls of the salsa. I've noticed at work that I get specific, like, chocolate bar sweet cravings, and I find myself going down to the cafeteria expecting to go to the vending machine and getting a bar of chocolate or something, which is not something I normally would ever do. And I actually never made it to the vending machine and got a bar of chocolate. Instead, my urge would switch when I get to the cafeteria to, ooh, I want a salad, specifically loaded with banana peppers, French dressing, and then red wine vinegar squirt all over it. I could probably put red wine vinegar on everything if it were okay, or if I had a bottle of red wine vinegar with me. But I guess a salad is a healthier option than a chocolate bar, so for that I'm happy. How has my body changed this week? I definitely feel that I get really bloated by the end of the day, and everybody has that little under the belly button fat area. I've noticed that that is definitely pooching out a little more. Thank God for my yoga pants that come up high that fit me still, that make everything look flush still and makes me feel, you know, nice. But my belly has definitely rounded out a tad. How am I feeling emotionally this week? I definitely had a roller coaster of emotions this week, from happy to sad to excited to just nervous. Like, everything you could think of I experienced this past week. Also definitely noticing some moodiness and irritability, along with noticing how calm I am in certain situations. I think it's just in the back of my head, I know that I'm pregnant and my body's just like, don't let it bug you. So, I mean, it's all over the place. Just like at work when I'm in a situation that, you know, is overwhelming or too many things are happening at once, I don't let it get to me, and it feels good. So things we did this week. Number one, we traded in the Kia Optima, which is the car that I owned, and decided to start leasing, which is new and exciting for both of us. We decided to go with the Kia Sorento. It's a beautiful car. I just feel super safe in it. It has the backup cam. It has alerting signals to notify you when you're about to switch lanes and somebody's in your blind spot. I could just see us putting a baby in it. The trunk is just big enough for me to imagine all of the strollers and stuff going into it. Second most exciting thing we did this week is we had our genetic testing, ultrasound, and blood work. We were 12 weeks and 5 days for this appointment, and the amount of development and movement that we saw was just mind-blowing. We were literally speechless and just couldn't stop saying, oh my God, is this real? This is real. That is my baby in my belly, and it is moving and kicking and turning around after she like boop 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 made it wiggle around. For me, I couldn't believe that it was actually happening in my belly. The baby was moving and kicking and turning, and I just couldn't feel any of it. I'm gonna put up a separate video of this appointment, but here's a clip of the ultrasound.
Is that it moving?
Yeah, I'm still right now.
It's moving, Joe.
It's fine.
Oh my God, it rolled over? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, it's
Sometimes they'll roll over on their belly.
Oh, it's kind of going back now.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, how
See,
cool
but the
was
legs
that?
Now one is straight and one is
Oh my gosh.
And you don't feel any of that,
I know
like,
all that's going on. You don't feel anything, right?
no. I can't believe it's moving
See
like
the
that.
leg going back and forth.
So we actually get the genetic testing results back in about 10 days, along with the extra perk of actually finding out the gender. I think my husband and I, we talked about it, and we want to, you know, do our baby announcement on social media, and then have our families both get together and possibly do a gender reveal of some sort. So when we get the call of the results, they told us to make sure right off the bat we tell them that we don't want to know the gender. We actually want them to put it in an envelope and give it to us. So that's how they'll keep the gender in there, and whatever we decide to do it, how for the gender reveal, we'll give that person or that company the envelope, and from there we will pick what we want to do. And we made our next OB appointment for March 7th, which will put us at about 14 weeks and 4 days with one of the midwives. The third super exciting thing I did this week was I told work about my pregnancy. I actually got some inspiration from Pinterest to get some Dunkin' Donuts boxes with munchkins and donuts and set it all up with a message and the ultrasound photo so that everybody could kind of see it throughout the day. Everyone was so loving and genuinely excited for me. It's just so great to work with such amazing people. So what's comforting for me? Definitely the weekends, sleep, and watching and rewatching my ultrasound videos. Thoughts and questions we have this week. I'm definitely very curious about what the gender is. You know, I've been following these old wives' tales, and part of me wants to believe that it's a boy. I don't know if it's because my husband and I both came from, you know, families that had boys first, or that we both kind of assume that it will be a boy. I think for that fact, maybe we'll probably get a girl. But either way, I fantasize about raising both. Having a little girl to just grow up and teach her everything and be my best friend, or a little boy that I can, you know, rough around with. And either way, I mean, I'll do the same with either gender, and it's gonna be amazing. But very curious, you know, and now telling more people, you have people saying, I think you're gonna have this, or I think you're gonna have that, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, maybe now I like don't know. So we'll see. Some of the things that make me think it's a boy is because I don't have morning sickness. I've heard that. That's an old wives' tale, that if you don't have morning sickness, it may be a boy. Something with the heart rate kind of throws me off because it's elevated right now, and I think they say elevated as a girl, but the vinegar cravings points to the, you know, male gender, so I don't know. I think boy, and my husband thinks boy. Things I look forward to this week, definitely announcing. This video may be one of the first that I post, and following it, all the videos before, but announcing is definitely in the near future. So that's a recap of week 12 for us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and let's take a look at how my bump is progressing this week. So here's my bump for end of week 12, first day of week 13. Can you see it? Does it look like a bump?
A little bit.
5.